this was about this little rant. Actually, it was a big rant that I was feeling bubbling inside of me just a few days ago. And I was going to put this on my YouTube, and maybe I still will put this on my YouTube, because it is something that is so, I don't know how to call it, close to my heart, pressing, I don't know. But I feel like there is so much lie out there that it started to really bog me down and piss me off. And I want to say that, I told you that when you're feeling bad, that's a lie, and that you want to, cut the tie to it, say, this is a lie, I choose to believe this instead. Sometimes things just start boiling within that, sometimes you can say, you know what, this is a lie, I'm not lackful, and I choose to feel like I'm abundant. So there's ones that are really easy, and then there are ones that really have been bubbling inside for maybe lifetimes, and finally just start hitting this boiling point. And so when you hit those, you need to be able to just realize, wow, something's like a dragon is coming out of me right now. And this must be something really deep. And it's okay to feel that anger. And in fact, that I'm not saying that you should always be angry, but anger is very passion-based energy. And when you can get really angry, you can make things move and change. And in fact, there have been times that I have gotten so angry and I've just declared something with the universe. I'm like, I'm so angry. This is changing now. And the universe says, it's changing now with the same force. And boom, it changes. So there is some good to anger. Anger is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it drives you to get so clear, so crystal clear, that clarity becomes such a declaration that the universe wakes up and listens and shifts immediately. So it's okay to have that passion. And I feel like that's what I was doing. Although there was a lot of anger involved, and there still sort of is. It really got me clear on what I will and will not put up with anymore. And I really don't give a damn if it has anything to do with the government trying to enforce something or whoever else is trying to enforce something. I don't give a crap. Enough is enough. So I'm going to back up and tell you my story. And this crystal ball is so heavy. I thought I was going to hold it, but actually I'm not. It's too heavy. So what happened is, let's see, I don't want to tell the whole story, but, well, actually, let me just, maybe I don't even need to tell the whole story. Let me ask you, who owns this world? Who owns our world? I asked this question of somebody the other day when I was in the middle of my anger. The poor person was out to dinner with me, and I just was I had been thinking about it earlier in the day, and I really should have just came home and did a YouTube video to get it out of me, but it was just stewing and stewing and stewing, so it just started bubbling out at dinner. Poor guy. So anyway, I asked him, who owns this world? And he was like, the government. I said, the government owns this world? No. Who owns this world? And he's looking at me like, what is she talking about? What kind of answer does she want? He just wanted to say what I wanted to. He just wanted to say what I would say is good, because he was just like, oh, she's getting a little weird. And he goes, nobody. God. And I said, that's right. So I ask you, who owns this world? Nobody owns this world. And if I swear during this segment, I'm sorry, but this is something that I'm just really passionate about, and it really gets under my skin, and I really haven't talked about it, so you're getting it firsthand. Nobody owns this world. Everybody's trying to act like they own this world. People walk around saying, this is my country. This is my belief. I am the indigenous people of this state, of this country. I should be the one that is in charge, and you don't belong here because you're not. Or, oh, the government owns this national park, so you can't be here doing what you're doing without this and that and this and that. Or you can't go do that unless you do that. Like, there's all of these rules and regulations. So I'm going to tell you a little story, I guess, of some things that have happened recently. So I'm going to try to make it short, because I had said before, I don't really want to share all my stories, but this is relevant. So every year I do a Mount Shasta spiritual journey, right? And so this year, you know, we're getting ready to go, like in a couple of weeks, and I get this really crazy email, not email, it was something on my business page on my Facebook from some guy who I will call a troll. He's actually lives in Shasta, but he's from New Jersey. You know what? I was born and raised in California. I have been going to Mount Shasta since I was a little girl. I'm much more a native to that mountain than he is. And he was writing rude things on my Facebook saying, there will be no commercial activity at this place. You are, you know, you did this, you did that. And then I guess he told the Indian tribe that is part of that are the keepers, that's their land. They own Mount Shasta and every other amazing surrounding area. So anywhere that's Mount Shasta, or, you know, neighboring cities that have beautiful waterfalls or parks, like, it's all theirs, okay? All theirs. And so they were writing to me too. And basically what they were doing was telling me not to bring my group, not to come, and if I came, that I had to have permission. And what else were they saying? Oh, that I was to stop cremating people. Stop doing cremations and burials. And stop leaving items like crystals and waters and whatever else. And I was like, are these people off their rocker? Like, they're talking like it's lawful to cremate people and bury them. Like, first of all, I can't even figure out how to burn my 10 journals. I can't even figure out how I'm going to burn those things. How the hell am I going to cremate somebody and take them there to bury them? Like, this just sounds crazy, okay? And I never leave crystals or any kind of water or anything else behind. I'm so respectful of any place I go to. I take groups to high-powered energy centers like Egypt, Peru, Mount Shasta, Hawaii, Mexico, all kinds of places. I am so respectful of the land. I am so respectful of the people. We're only there to utilize the energy for shifting, for ceremonies, to help people with their spiritual growth. We're not there changing things. We're not cremating people. We're not burying people. I don't know what this was all coming from. So anyway, it was this big thing, and they were like threatening me, and I was getting letters from the Indian tribe, and even asking us like, what kind of feathers are you wearing? Like, you know what? American Native Indians are not the only ones that use feathers. My background, my mother's Filipino, they actually use feathers in their crowns in the Philippines. Mayans use feathers. Peruvians use feathers. Incans use feathers. You know, birds are everywhere, so I'm pretty sure every culture used feathers, like even the Celts. And I'm also, of that nationality as well. So the Druids, I mean, everybody used feathers. So why do they think that nobody can wear feathers but them? That just infuriates me. Because who are they to say they own every feather, that nobody should wear feathers? So anyway, they were just like really harassing me for like 2 weeks before we were going, to the point like I didn't even want to go. So I had to call the ranger and ask them, was there a special permit? Like, these are the places we're going to. This is how much time we're spending there. This is what we're going to be doing. Da da da. And she said, well, now you have to have a permit to go to this place, that place. Even if it's for an hour, you've got to have a permit. But, you know, you're coming in a week and I don't have enough time now to do the permits. So you can go to these other places and you can ask these other people if it's okay if you use their places. So the ranger was really nice and she helped me, you know, to figure out where I could go without a permit. Fine, no problem. So I wrote back to the Indians and I wrote back to that guy and I was telling him, you know, I'm not like cremating anyone. I'm not even going to go to your land. Don't worry about it. And I never leave crystals, and, you know, we're just not even going to go to any of these places. And they were having fake people contact me like they were going to join me and trying to ask me where we were going, like I'm stupid. Like, it was just ridiculous. So, okay, there was that. And so we actually went, and we had the most amazing time. It was way better at the places that we ended up going to than what we used to do. So I was not going to go to Shasta anymore, but because these other places are so way more amazing, actually, we were the ones that received the blessing out of the situation because we were guided to like a way better experience now. So, you know, that worked out. So then I come back and, you know, time goes on and I get some crazy email from some crazy Egyptian guy who's like threatening to kill me, that he's going to kill me because he saw a video that I put on YouTube that said that indigenous Egyptians are African. Okay, Egypt is in Africa. So, if Egypt is in Africa, would it not make sense that the indigenous or real, and I won't say, because other people were born there, obviously they're real Egyptians, but the indigenous, the first Egyptians were African. Okay? They're not going to be Arab because this is in Africa. And so he was saying, you know, you better talk to me, or, you know, I know you do trips here and I'm going to come kill you, and like all this crazy stuff. So I just wrote back and I kept it really short because obviously somebody like this is not going to be very responsive in a way that they really even want to talk. And I said, all I said was that since Egypt's in Africa, that they're the real Egyptians or originating Egyptians were African. And of course, the Arabs came and other people came. A lot of different races came to Egypt, right? The Romans, the Israelites, like there's other ones. And if you're born in Egypt, obviously you're Egyptian, right? I guess. And so it rolls out, right? Okay, so there are a lot of Arabs that are Egyptians, obviously. I was just saying that the originating ones were Africans. And he went off on me. He's like, are you kidding me? You know, this and that and this and that. And so then he was just really threatening, and he was calling me horrible names and saying that he was coming with some other guy who was leading this movement to kill all white Americans. And was like, you know, not all Americans are white. And so anyway, he was just saying crazy stuff. But I was just like replying very short and very respectful to him. Even though he was like being like crazy, I was just acting normal. I just wanted him to stop. And I basically thanked him for everything that he shared and appreciate, you know, his viewpoint and that I respect his viewpoint. And of course he got mad at that and told me, you know, don't, what did he say? Don't patronize him. He's a fucking Egyptian, not a fucking white American or whatever. So this really got my boat tipping. And I was like, you know, what the hell is up? And then, you know, like another week passes, I get this letter from the rangers in Mount Shasta telling me that they see, it's been brought to their attention that I'm going to be leading a trip to Mount Shasta next year, and that, we have to have these permits, that if we're going to be in this county and this and that and this and that and this that. And it actually happened to be the same ranger that I spoke to on the phone. That was really nice and helpful. So I'm sure she didn't realize that I was the one that she spoke to. But I was just like, every week somebody was like contacting me, harassing me. And I was like, what the hell? You know what? People act like I'm some important big person that really makes a huge difference. Now, I know that I make a difference in my client's life, but I'm not like some super huge, amazing, popular person like, I don't know, Hillary Clinton, Sylvia Brown, whoever. I'm not anybody like that in the spotlight. I'm just me in this office that you're seeing. This is where I go every day. I don't even talk to people in person half the time. I'm, like a cyber internet type online worker. Unless I see you at a retreat or a class, okay? And I was like, why are these people just like attacking me and coming after me like I'm some huge like presence or something? It was crazy. So I started thinking like, you know what? The Indians think they own Mount Shasta. This guy thinks he owns Egypt. There's other Egyptians that think that that's their country. You don't belong here. Or, oh, I'm an American, but because America, is comprised of every nationality, so I've got to be accepting of everybody, right? But going to any other country, no, you don't belong here. This is my country. I own this. Nobody owns shit, okay? I don't care if you were born first generation in the U.S., those, Indians, they want to keep it as it was, then don't use cars and don't use electricity and don't go to the store. Live in a teepee. Don't live in the house. If you want it that way, then have it that way. But you're going to say, well, I'll take your modern, American stuff, but you can't have any part of what I'm into. No, you don't own that mountain. God created Mount Shasta for everyone. And God created Egypt for everyone. And God created that ocean for everyone. And God created plants and food for everyone. And anybody that's trying to limit, not allowing people to have, clean drinking water. How about like in Florida, you're not allowed to gather your own rainwater to use it. Or some lady has a self-sufficient land where she has her own water and has her own solar electricity, and grows her own food. And they said, no, that's going to be against the law now. You have to buy electricity from, Florida, whatever, power, and you have to get the water from, the utility company. No, you can't do it all on your own. Like, really? I can't live off my land on my own stuff. I have to buy it from you. Why? Okay, these are the things I'm talking about. These limitations. You can't do this. You can't do that. You have to have this. You have to have that. Like, you know what? You don't own this world. Nobody owns this world. And I just lost it. I'm saying it very calmly to you guys, but I had totally lost it. And I said, nobody is going to tell me anymore what I can and cannot do. Now, I'm not going to be disrespectful, and I'm not going to ruin things or step out of line, but you're not going to start shutting me down into a corner. I am here to help people feel good, to be healthy, to be in their power, to create the life that they can have. And I am not going to allow anybody to stop me from doing this work. I am here to do this work. That is why I came here, is to do this work. And there is no way that I'm going to let anyone or anything stop me from doing this work. Otherwise, there is no point in me being here. And if that ever becomes a truth, then for sure I will go. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to do the work that I'm here to do. And nobody is going to limit me or put me in fear or make me doubt or make me run or make me not go to Egypt because somebody might try to find me and kill me, or not go up to Mount Shasta because the Indians will get mad because I'm wearing rooster feathers, or whatever the hell these people's problems are. I definitely won't be cremating or burying bodies. I don't do that. As far as I know, it's against the law unless that's your real business, and it ain't my business. Okay? But I will not be chased away. I will not live in fear. And it also goes for my personal life. I will not have any family members, friends, or anyone else tell me anymore what I should be doing, how I should be doing it, why I shouldn't be doing that, how I should think, how I shouldn't think, how I should be, how I shouldn't be. Pushing me, forcing me, asking me, when are we doing this? Why aren't we doing this? What is your plan? How are you going to do that? I just had enough of everything. Okay? I drew the line in the sand. No one, no thing, nothing is ever going to tell me how I should be, who I should be, how I should do it, where I should be, that I should run, that I shouldn't do that I can't be this, that I can't go there. I'm done. That's it. I blew a gasket the other night, and I went off, and I am done with that. It was all coming at me. All these limitations, all these rules, all these questions, all these people expecting me to be a certain way, to do certain things, to be there for them, not be there for me. I recently even just deactivated my Facebook account. I had somebody that was coming out of town that wanted to visit with me because he was going to be here with his wife, and I was really super stressed out about things. And I kept telling him, you know what? I thought I was going to come, but I'm really stressed out. Things aren't working out right now. I just can't even do it. And he wasn't hearing me. He wasn't hearing that I was stressed out. And I was super stressed out. And I kept telling him. And all he kept saying is, I'm here. When can you come? Give me a call. He wasn't hearing that I was stressed out. And that's when I hit my peak. And I said, listen, I'm sorry. I can't come. I'm telling you, I'm super stressed out. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. And I deactivated my account, not only because of that, because I felt people were so grabby of my energy, and everybody wanted a piece of me. Everybody wanted something from me, but nobody was giving a shit about being there for me or doing anything for me or even just being a support to me. Everybody seems to think they have opinions of what I should be doing, how I should be doing it, and what they expect from me. And I had had it. So sometimes I just need to step back and cut the cords and get into my own space and say, this is not okay. This is no longer going to happen with me. And this is where I draw the line in the sand. And don't you dare try to cross this line in the sand, because I'll be there to meet you and tell you no. And that's what I want you to think about in your life. Who is telling you how you should do things, how you should be, how you're expected to be, where you should show up, where you shouldn't go, what you can do, what you can't do, what you should be afraid of, and what laws you better abide by or else? What kind of fears and limitations and expectations are people and agencies and situations putting on you? And say, you know what? Enough. It's all a lie. It all feels like crap. And it's a lie. And I will not be fearful. of you or you or you, and you can say you're going to do this to me or that to me. Go ahead. Go ahead. I will not be fearful. I will not be back down. I will stay in my truth. I am here for a reason, and I will keep being here for this reason until the day that I am no longer supposed to be doing it. So what is your reason for being here, and who is, and what, and how are people, situations, and rules, and regulations, and threats trying to stop you from being you? It's all a lie. Draw a line in the sand and say no more. Nobody owns this world. God gave it to us, and it's everybody's. Don't buy into the fear. Choose your truth. Draw a line in the sand, and don't let anybody overstep that boundary. So, thank you for listening to my story, but it's quite powerful, and I invite you to explore in your life how these things might be in your way, how they might have kept you small, and how they might have kept you away from truly being here for the reason that you came. This could have come from lifetimes. I actually felt that if you notice the theme of the things that have been happening to me lately, it was all indigenous based. And the work that I do, you may or may not know. My light activation healing is all ancient healing. And that's one of the reasons why I travel to all these ancient places, Egypt, Peru, all these ancient indigenous lands, is because it's a part of me. I have been living in all of these places at some parallel dimension of my life. The more ancient wisdom and energy that I feel around me, the more my heart just opens and fills me. It is who I am. It is what makes me feel amazing and thrive. I am so connected to ancient wisdom and knowledge, and that's one of the big reasons why I'm here sharing it with you, whether you're getting a healing from me or you're learning from me. All this energy that I'm able to channel in from all of these lifetimes and dimensions, it's all this amazing, ancient, esoteric, energetic information. And that's why I'm here. It's who I am. And so when I was getting attacked by these people that are in these ancient lands that I feel way more indigenous and ancient than they and their cultures are, it's like a fly, like, do you know who you're talking to? And so I sense that the reason why these things were coming to me was not so much about today and how they're feeling, but somewhere there's a connection energetically and they're feeling that power. And I'm sure that at some point in another dimension that we've met and that there has been something that in this dimension they're trying to knock me down and say, hey, we are the indigenous, we are the owners of this, and you are just a visitor in this land. And I say, good try, but no way. Sorry. And that's the way it goes. One thing I always know is that I've always experienced is I always win. And it's not about winning or losing, but when you're talking about trying to limit the amazing work that I do for people, you better just stand back, because that's when I say no. So I hope that you feel empowered and you start recognizing patterns that come to your way, so you can start learning where you might be having some karmic connections or issues, where you can say, you know what, the buck stops here, and no, you're not getting your way this time, because I am on my game, and in this game, I only win. Okay, everybody, some big stuff there. Be empowered. Keep your boundary. Don't let anyone cross that line. So go out there, live in intention, have focus, stand up for yourself, choose your truth, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.